Examine your house around. Have you simply become accustomed to the mess, or is it actually organized? We all retain things for years, whether they are sentimental mementos, old gifts, or things we might use in the future. However, the truth is that many of these things are subtly making our homes feel crowded and overburdened. Today, we are revealing 19 items that, without your knowledge, clutter your home and, more importantly, how to get rid of them guilt-free and stress-free. The surprise is that practically everyone believes they should keep one item, but in reality it is making their home feel messier than ever. To discover what it is, the clutter you are not even aware of, stay to the very end. When Helen, 74, was looking for a crucial document one day, she discovered something. Her once pleasant home was cluttered, overpowering, and difficult to manage. Helen had always thought her home was cozy and full of memories. She was not by herself. Many elderly people unwittingly keep items that subtly add to clutter. Let us examine 3 typical offenders and their solutions. Number 1. Old stack of paper. As only in the case, Helen had kept all her receipts, all her drug calculators, and the welcome cards she had received so far. Her desk drawers were packed, their shelves were crowded, and finding something was a nightmare. Why is that the problem? Piles of paper attract dust and create stress. Obsolete documents make it more difficult to find people who are actually important. Revise. It will only hold 30 minutes per week of paperwork sorting and important documents to control important papers on USB drives or cloud memory such as recordings, medical files, legal papers. One of Helen's Frondin turned this into a crushed old document at a weekly ritual, listening to his favorite jazz music. Who knew discoveries were fun? Number 2. Unused or double kitchen items. Nothing more is always better. Helen's kitchen had a large collection of 5 frying pans, 3 blenders, and cups that he had never used before. She didn't even realize how much space she had taken up until she tried to organize her cupboard. Why is that the problem? Extra cookware and utensils mean you can't find what you're actually using in a busy cupboard. Fixed. If you used a year-old from a year-old that you didn't use last year, it's time to let go of all the essential objects. 2 essential objects: good frying pans, trusted mixers from other charities, or the community centers that are actually used. Margaret, 78, finally donates her old slow cooker and realizes she has more counter rooms than she thought. Number 3. Hereditary furniture that no longer provides them. Helen had a heavy wooden cabinet she inherited from her mother and a seed of flower love from her aunt. She never used her, but she embraced her out of guilt. Why is that the problem? Large unused furniture makes it difficult to operate the room tightly. If things are being distressed from guilt, it is not a relative's memory. Fix. Butte calls your thoughts again. The object does not mean maintaining memory. Take a picture of the sentimental part before you let go and hand it over to the family you actually use and appreciate. Helen gave her mother's cabinet to her Nye, who loved it, and suddenly her home was opened and felt peaceful and manageable. Just to alleviate these 3 obstacles, it was a huge difference, and it wasn't even done. What you feel secretly in the home is ambiguous. Which do you want to live? Many of us stick unconsciously, unaware that our homes feel smaller than they actually are. Here are 3 common perpetrators. Number 4. Over-adapted bookshelves. Is your shelf full of books you haven't read in years? If you haven't opened a book for over a decade, it may be time to get the joy of someone else. Solution: donate to your local library, school, or community center. Fosse. Keep only books you truly love and have been read again. Create space for decorative elements such as framed photos and small plants to bring freshness to your shelves. Number 5. Obsolete or meaningless decoration. Look around. Are there any decorations that do not reflect your tastes or bring you joy in your home? This framed artwork from 30 years ago can have sentimental value, but will it still make you happy? Solution: inspire or lift you to exchange old decorations with more meaningful or more modern pieces and store only the decorations. Look at the room in a single statement part rather than some small gems. Number 6. Overcrowded closet. How many dresses do you wear in your closet? If you have not worn it for more than a year, it will take up space. Solution: do not wear 1-year-old regularly and within 12 months. Donate individually to seasonal clothing to release your everyday room or organize categories and colors to make dressing easier. It's not about losing things. It is about acquiring a home that feels space, peace, and open and attractive. Close your home is difficult and confused. You may not recognize it, but sometimes the home feels confused without looking obviously messy. Certain objects occupy space not only physically, but mentally. Over time, these things accumulate, which will make your home overcrowded, stressful, and even outdated. Let's go through amazing guilty people that can differ at home and learn how to repair them. Number 7. Too many sentimental objects without fixed chambers. This old birthday card, holiday souvenir, stacks of childhood souks may look harmless, but if they are scattered throughout the house, you will become disordered. Why is it the problem? The room feels visually overwhelming as chaotic, and sentimental objects lose value when everyday obstacles, dust, and confusion prevent them from truly assessing these treasures. Fix. Create Memory Box protects decorative memory containers that can store the most valuable items. My friend Alice had once filled the whole closet with a children's school project decades ago. After doing the most meaningful scans, only a few originals were maintained, so she was able to annihilate the entire room and preserve these special memories. Number 8. Bulk Furniture Blocking Pass. Your oversized coffee table, heavy wooden, or decorative side chairs may have been perfect years ago, but now they take up more space than they should have. Why is it the problem? Consuming room flow that makes exercise more difficult can be a security risk, especially for older people with mobility concerns, creating a sense of ambivalence and overcrowding, even in large homes. Fix. Lens on furniture that do not require reduction are rarely used. Consider selling them or donating ops for multifunctional furniture storage ottoman, folding table, or sofa bed. A senior I know had a big outdated Chinese cabinet in his dining room. It hadn't been opened for years, and everything it did was gather the dust. After giving it to his granddaughter, he replaced it with a bare bookshelves. It only had naked essentials and was quickly big and attractive. Number 9. Growing junk spear. Keck. Maybe it's a hallway table, a bedroom chair, or an entire closet that's slowly transformed into a catchy room. Why is it the problem? Obstacles attract more obstacles, thrown there, and then more. These spaces create a sense of interference and stress, even if the rest of the room is clean, or often the discarded floors that are forgotten due to something that has no clear purpose. Fix. Enter the system. Each object must have a specific location within the home. Complete each week and remind you that you remember this room every Sunday, and use a basket, shell, or storage tank to prevent the home from landing. Helen, a retired teacher, had the habit of throwing unopened emails at the entrance on the side table. Over time, stack grew into magazines, catalogs, and random papers. After adding a small email organizer and committing to sorting daily emails, she finally got her room back. Number 10. Only if not used element. A collection of empty glasses, stacks of old magazines, or these extra bed linens you haven't touched in years. Many people are stuck with things because they may need them one day. Why is that the problem? The objects you need take up space available for what you are actually using and rarely create a load-bearing feeling rather than convenient. Over time, these objects are transformed into hidden failures where they become more difficult to deal with. Fix. Give a deadline. If you're not using you in 2 years, it's time to let go. Keep 1 or 2 backup articles rather than the entire inventory to set limits. A retired artisan named George had a garage full of scraps that he wanted to use for future projects. When he realized he had only used a small portion over the years, he donated most of it to local community workshops to free others and help them. Number 11. Broken or unused garden tools are stacked. Rusty scissors, broken garden cans, or stacks of empty flower pots, if they are not provided, take up space. Why that's the problem? Creating unnecessary obstacles on your scale, garage, or terrace makes it even more difficult to find the tools to use. Some objects become a security risk when they are around them. Fix. Only keep functional tools. If something is broken and hasn't been repaired in a year, it's time to let go. Use vertical memory, wall hooks, and shelves to keep your garden supplies organized. Additional tools, community gardens, or neighbors you can appreciate. John, an 80-year-old garden lover, discovers that he had 4 pairs of scissors but only used one. After giving an extra to a friend, his tool shed became much easier to manage. Number 12. A gift that you don't love but will make you feel guilty. This decorative vase won't match your style, a sweater that doesn't fit properly, or a device you've never put out of the box. You didn't buy it, but you still feel committed to keeping you. Why is that the problem? Take up valuable space for what you actually love and use, creating emotional weight. If these objects protect something from joy, these objects can create by stacking obstacles. Fix. Give yourself permission to let go. A gift should produce joy and not guilty. A submission, donate, or sell articles. You can really appreciate it. Just match what matches your lifestyle today. Your space should reflect your needs and style, not just your memories. An elderly Sarah, who has collected dozens of decorative candles over the years, has realized that she has never really used her. She donated most of them to the community center, keeping only a few favorites, and instantly felt a sense of security. These insecurities may not seem like a big deal, but together they can feel their home intimately confused and uncomfortable. By gradually dealing with every area, you can create spaces that are easier, more functional, and truly reflect who you are today. Start with one of these problem areas. Which one will you work on first? Please let me know in the comments below. How to let go without feeling guilty. One of the hardest parts of discovery is not physical work. It's an emotional bond with ours. Many older people cling to the object as it reminds them of relatives, past experiences, or events. Good news, you don't need to delete your memory to create a free family disability. Here we are thoughtfully deactivated without guilt. Number 13. Keep only those that are really important and used. If everything is special, there is nothing. The key to wise intervention is the choice of factors that really add value to your life. Ask yourself, make me happy every time I see or use it. Did you use it last year, and will you miss him if it's gone? Modification. Just keep the best, most sentimental pieces, not the entire collection. If dust gathers, it's time to rethink your place in your home. Permission to let go of things that no longer serve them. My girlfriend Janet had an entire cabinet full of teacups she had never used. Instead of keeping them all, she chose 3 favorites and donated the rest of the woman's house. Now she enjoys unused objects without responsibility and without being criticized. Number 14. Instead of keeping all objects, enter memory and photos. Objects have memories, but you don't have to keep everything in order to honor these moments. Why it works. Digital photography doesn't take up any space, but still retains sentimental value. Create digital or collection albums to rethink whenever you want. If the object is visible in the photo, it can be as powerful as your home. Fix. Before letting them go, make the photograph of sentimental objects physically or digital, and come back to a special moment again when at family height. Write a short note about its importance and hand it over to someone who is grateful. A retired Marine veteran who I know he filled his closet with old uniforms and memorabilia. Instead of keeping everything, he took photos of the collection, assembled his favorite medals, and donated the rest to a local museum. He kept the memories alive and freed the room. Number 15. Use storage fields to control sentimental elements. It's okay to keep sentimental objects, but within the limits. Why does it work? She encourages her to choose something that really makes sense because she is a dedicated home for memory so that she can appreciate memories without overwhelming their living spaces so that they don't become scattered obstacles. Fix. Select the sentimental item specification box, or if necessary, when the box is full, it will be reevaluated before new ones are added. If something new is in effect, allowing boxes in some other accessible location to be seen rather than seen. Margaret, a grandmother of 5, held all the birthday cards she had received so far. Now she has a single decorative box for the most important one. Every year she checks her out and removes everyone who keeps only an absolute favorite not special. Number 16. Set a decluttering schedule to prevent accumulation. Decluttering isn't a one-time event. It's an ongoing process. Why it works: prevents things from piling up again, makes decluttering feel manageable instead of overwhelming, helps you stay in control of your space instead of letting clutter sneak back in. The fix: set a reminder to declutter one small area every month, do a full home review every 6 months. Walk through your home and ask, do I still need this? Treat decluttering as routine maintenance, like cleaning or organizing finances. A retired teacher I know follows a simple rule. Every time she switches her wardrobe for the new season, she donates anything she didn't wear the previous year. This habit keeps her. Number 17. Create an open space for a quieter and more peaceful home. A busy house can feel overwhelming, but open and airy rooms are peaceful and attractive. Why does it work? Less impairment reduces stress, makes it easier to clean, and move safely. Fix: keep the surface as clean as possible. If you suffer from decoration on tables, meters, or shelves, order furniture and create an open flowing layout, restricting the room rather than restricting it in the cupboard. Helen, the senior I worked with, had the habit of filling every shelves with jewels. After she started, she had some of her favorite pieces and deliberately left some shelves. As a result, your home felt bigger, brighter, and more relaxed. Number 18. Regularly everything in your home. Your needs and lifestyle change over time. What made sense 10 years ago might not be useful to them today either. Why it works: it functionally adjusts your home, and in your current life, it helps you understand what you really love by preventing the slow buildup of unnecessary obstacles and distracting. Fix: pass the house every 6 months and look at all the articles with fresh eyes. You've created yourself. Shall I buy it again today? If not, you should let it go. You should move to a new one in your home and bring obstacles to replacing what you've released. A woman named Susan told me she felt she had gained weight after downsizing. I finally have a sense that my home fits the life I have right now. The distribution is not about getting rid of everything. It's about creating space for things that are really important. Letting go of unnecessary objects in a thoughtful way will create an easier, more peaceful, and comfortable home. Start Klein. Only one area this week. Which article in your home was too long? Share your comments. Number 19. There are too many small decorative tables and shelves. Small figures, picture frames, vases, they may look individually, but too many can suddenly feel much more confused than stylish. Why is that the problem? Instead of a clean, intentional aesthetic that makes dust and cleaning even more difficult, it creates a chaotic, overcrowded fix. Choose your favorites. You'll be happy to store pieces that suit your current style. Rather than scattering decorations everywhere, group objects will be placed on 3 to 5 part covers for a more cohesive look and turn throughout the season. My friend Linda once had over 50 small collectibles on the shelves in her living room. She only kept 10 of her favorites and decided to keep the rest. Now she looks elegant and clear at home, and she enjoys her decorations even more. Deny hints. Stand at the entrance to your room and look at yourself. If your eyes don't know where you have to focus, it may be time to simplify it as too much happens. Look around. How many of these 19 obstacles do you have in your home? An obstacle does not simply take up space, absorbs energy. But the good news, you don't have to do everything at once. Small drawers, shelves, or tables, and change them today. You will be amazed at how easy and peaceful your home feels with every little step. When this video is helpful, click on a simple, more effective, and more subscribed way to create a home that supports your best life. What will relieve you first? Comment below. I'd like to hear about your plans.